Hello. So it is about 8:30 on Thursday. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Heart Day. Happy heart and whole. Um so I have been on a mission to get sober. If anyone has tuned into my previous videos, um I had been making these videos to really discipline myself to get sober. I started this process in 2015, which was approximately 4 years ago. And I wavered in between moments of complete sobriety for months and then picking up either alcohol or smoking something, and juggled this for 4 years before I was able to make an actual decision to actually give this stuff up. Um, which means that I had been smoking and drinking for about 8 years in my life. And my God, am I feeling better? I have definitely gone through a huge, crazy withdrawal phase and depression with it. And it has been giving up some of the stuff in December of 2018. It's been about a month or about 6 weeks. And in the last 6 weeks, I've had 12 small glasses of alcohol, which it's hard because I wasn't just giving up alcohol, I was giving up smoking too. So, and I've completely given up smoking for now close to 60 days. So, which I've done before, but I am 100% sure that I'm done with this forever. So not only was I getting sober at the time, though, in the last few years, I have been riding a bicycle for the last 6 years. Mainly, I had a car for a few months in 2017 for about 6 months. So I've ridden a bike longer in my life than I'd ever driven a car, which I am trying to make an argument for, and wishing that the city I lived in Arcata here would readopt some of the great, or some of the plans like another city, and not allow motor vehicles. Because, or at least in a part of the town, it would not only make the town happier, but healthier and happier synonymously. I can't even say that. Okay. Simultaneously. And for those of you who ride bikes, would know what I'm talking about. But it's frustrating being a cyclist in the world, because you get bantered at by people in their cars and acted really rude at. And anyways, that's my bike. In the 21st century here, we deal with an online world that is so interconnected, that it's caused certain crazy. I've tried to get away from the possessions of 21st century society, meaning that we're trying to get back to a simpler time where not that technology doesn't exist, it's just that you use less of it, having not only using a computer here to make all these individualized streams of human consuming pods that we are, kind of self-absorbed in this 21st century world where we're not spending as much actual time with each other in the real world. It's like you'd rather be on your cell phone or on the computer talking to somebody through a computer or a cell phone. And and I'm a hypocrite at this 21st century because it's the only way to reach massive amounts of people. So like by doing this and getting sober, I've learned so many things about myself and realizing that I want less of these things in my life and more of these things, which is true connection, true communication, being closer in town and being able to ride a bike and walk everywhere. These are all changes that I'm going through. But the last 6 weeks, and I said I was going to completely stop alcohol together, which is what I've been trying to do. And I want to be actually sober here for more than I want to stop drinking altogether. It's just that, I once I started drinking, little bits of wine and beer, like I enjoy alcohol. Like a lot of people who do drink alcohol, they find it to be a small, relaxing, enjoyable thing if it's used in a responsible manner. So, but my goal is to completely be sober from this, and I know I have some friends and family who have done this. So I'm trying to get there, and I'm already dealing with a lot. My exercise, like I said, exercise schedule. I exercise more regularly without knowing it because I'm transporting myself by bike. So I don't have to think about the gym or think about going and exercising. I'm using the bike as a means to exercise to get from A to B. And it's causing me to eat better, and it's caused my sleep cycle to be better. And I generally just treat my nutrition better, and I'm spending time with people who treat themselves better because I'm able to block out the negative social realms that people can put themselves into, which is a bad environment. And if you raise yourself in the environment, the entire environment is going to develop. These are all things that I've learned in social psychology and environmental psychology and behavioral neuropsychology that I already knew, and some of them are common sense and some of them are reiteration, trying to retrain the neurological brains into doing these certain aspects, and finding out how the body, mind, and soul will be all connected by the way that you treat yourself and the exercise. And it's just like common sense stuff that when you are drinking too much alcohol or just in balance with things, you'll find that your body will be in balance with the whole, it's all spirituality, So going from these extreme spectrums in reality in my life, I have come now to appreciate some sort of spiritual isolation from these things, which has brought me closer to like the true form of who I am. And it's a transcendence type of feeling, I guess. But at the same time, it's some common sense stuff that people who probably never touched these things, probably never dealt with, and it might not understand what I mean. But so my social clarity is hopefully coming through, and um, people are very interesting, and they have social blocks and things that happen that will block out or will try to um, I don't know. We sometimes as people we try to think in a nihilist state of mind, given that there's so many of us, and it's just like we gotta. That's why it's so important to love ourselves, and then therefore by going within and finding our spiritual healing within, that power that we treat ourselves is able to resonate in our own relationships. So our health will also having good health and good habits and these things will forming habits will create what will be not only more wealth in your life, you'll find yourself having more money to spend on other things because you're not spending them on drug or some sort of form of drug or alcohol. So a holistic lifestyle and your nutrition and exercise, like doing these 5 things: riding a bike, um, having I have food. Like food is something that we grow, so it's pretty common that like we're sharing these things. So this is a communal thing that doesn't require much anything but just it's just the fruits of the earth and the things that we share with each other. Um, and the state provides some of the food that I eat through food stamps, and that's how I supply my body on a monthly basis. And so health, and then healthcare, getting some sort of form of state or government universal healthcare for dentistry appointments, and so social facilitation, or so it's semi-socialist and point of view here um, in terms of our healthcare, um, and then say I forget. I think I might have said this. So exercise. Uh, what I was getting to say is that our health and those things about our health lead to wealth, and that we have we have more money on ourselves. Like we're able to spend more money, or you're able to save more money of not doing these things, and also in return, um, kind of a wealth of freedom thing. You're not bound. People think of these things as crutches in their lives, or things that are withholding or inhibiting them from being able to accomplish certain things. You, a person has wealthier thoughts, is what I mean. Not even just like a money factor, but um, their thoughts and creative energy are clearer, and um, it's just it's night and day. It's yeah. And by having the health, we develop this wealth, and then that even expands into our relationships in our life, meaning that on the relationships that they're healthier, and um, there's a sense of forgiveness for other people that happens when you have a clear state of mind and a healthier way of living. And but there's so many ways that one can live, and so there's no. I'm not trying to teach some sort of right or wrong method or philosophy on how. Just more of my own personal. I'm talking from my own personal standpoint of as to what it is that I am doing. See, being 30 years old, I'm finding that I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing, not just for my life, but for the humanity in itself, and the next, possibly the next generation of 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 life. So I don't know. Okay, so these things are clear from time to time, and anyways, it's about 8:55, and so I've been trying to join an online poker um, tournament, but I can't for some reason get involved here on my computer. I need to update my system on my Mac here, and it's not even worth it. So it doesn't really matter. It has been raining and snowing here in Arcata nonstop. The snow was one day, but the rain hasn't let up this winter very much, and I can't wait for it to be spring again and to lighten up on the rain. Um, the things that I have found in nutrition that I've been watching nutrition, reminding myself that the lack of vitamin B12 and vitamin D, not being in sunlight in the winter, are important things for our body. I have been on this herbal tincture, which I've just put in my water, which I hopefully done with here. I used it for a month trying to completely break the nicotine habit, and I still have nicotine gum, and I'm still using forms of nicotine. Nicotine and caffeine are the most addictive things, dangerously addictive with alcohol, because like alcohol creeps up in your system, where nicotine is a brain. It changes your chemistry of your brain, and so it's very difficult for those who smoked and tried gave up smoking to know what it means, how hard it is. It's like um, you have to retrain your brain not to like think, and then using this has caused me not to even think about nicotine. The problem is that I still go out and then I still see other people smoking, and it's like I can't get away from other people who are doing these things. So that's what makes it even harder, because it's like I'm around friends and family that have been smoking and are choosing not to stop smoking, and so it's just like trying to. This is why I've been isolating. Through this withdrawal phase, isolating and making these videos so much, because it's like hard for me to like. And it's nothing personal to anybody, and I have dealt with some friends saying that I'm personally ignoring them, and it's like, no, I'm not trying to do that. I'm doing this for myself, because this is what I have to do. So I ordered some pizza. I had some pizza tonight and some root beer. So if I could possibly give up the caffeine is probably the one thing that's I'm not I want to give up caffeine, but I'm not sure giving up all these things at the same time is possible. Like, given that I slowly got off these things over the last 4 years, and I'm just amazed that I even did these things for what was like 8 to 10 years, or alcohol, which has been almost a 15 to 14 year habit on and off, So it's just disgusting. It's like once you start, you start feeling so much better about some things, and I don't know. So for anybody who's going through these, or if like they need to talk about anything, it's I'm hoping to lend myself there to somebody who might be going through these things, and it's just like I'm not even really sure. Um, what I'm trying to say. Just that is all I have tonight. All right, good night.